Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Skies of Arcadia Revisited. I'm Nye, and it is time for us to continue moving around Nasrad in order to, hopefully, find Aika and Fina, which obviously won't happen, because that would be way too easy, but I'm going to do basically the same thing I did with them. So the first thing we're going to do is see if we can go talk to Osman, the money lender, and we're going to see if we can get them to give us a loan that would potentially let us make our own ship, or buy our own ship, whatever the case may be. So let's go see what's going on. So let's head over here. Here is Osman. There's a lot of cats in the area. Notice there's like pictures of cats everywhere. Something I didn't point out the first time. Look how many treasure chests there are. You would think I could open at least one of these, especially with this ramp that goes down over here. But here's the impressive safe that he wants to try to see if he can crack it, but he shouldn't steal it from civilians. Here's some chests I'm not allowed to do anything with. An expensive looking vase. I wonder if pickles made in a vase like that taste any better than pickles made in a normal vase. I would think they'd be metallic tasting. I wouldn't really want to try it. So we will head this way. Try to talk to Osman. Salutations. This is the owner of this business. People called him Osman. They are what we call a financier, blah, 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 blah. Vyse says that you'll lend me money. He sure needs use for a new pirate ship. And Osman's immediate response is not unlike Shaggy and Scooby. Pirates? Clerk, please show us the lad to the door. Osman will never find Osman lending money to any fool who calls themselves an air pirate. Not one piece of gold will he receive. After all, money is their very life. Oh, precious, precious money, be on our way, be on our way. So yep, Osman won't help. Money lender who doesn't lend money. I don't know if that, I don't know if they'd be worth a title. Thing is, though, pirates often make a lot of money, right? Like, I mean, if you're a successful pirate, which, let's look at my bank account right now. Yeah, I feel kind of successful. And remember how I said we have, no, I said 80 times the money, right. We have over 8 times the money that Clara gave to Fina and Aika, and that's after I made a lot of purchases. But if you're a successful pirate, you're probably making a lot of bank. Like, you've got a lot of money in hand to do basically whatever you want. So if you could lend me, you know what, I could probably just buy a ship with 33,000 gold, don't you think? Maybe, it only takes, I don't know, it took like 8,000 to buy a sword. Hi, Gilder. He's gonna have a few more drinks, so we should go back to the inn by ourselves. That's a hint, by the way, that we should go back to the inn. Hey, barkeep, can you tell me about 2 girls that you might have? We should come in and relax. We're unlucky. Up until yesterday, he had 2 very cute girls working here, but they quit. That really sucks, because that would have been really convenient. But nope. Hey, look, it's a picture. Well, I guess we should go back to the inn, because the last time we saw Aika and Fina, they were at the inn. So maybe, just maybe, if we're kind of lucky, and if the stars align, and if we cross our fingers, and if we hope really, really hard and believe in fairies, we'll actually find them in here. Say it to yourself. You believe in fairies. You believe in fairies. You believe in them. Okay. Yes, I will stay the night. We can use the room at the top of the stairs on the 2nd floor. She hopes to sleep well. Believe in fairies. Believe in fairies. Believe in fairies. So here's the room. And yeah, let's go investigate the room. Yeah, there's only 2 rooms here. This is one of them. There's no other rooms here. And as soon as we walk in, well, that door opens and Aika and Fina walk out. I swear to God, you guys, you had one job to believe in fairies to make this happen, and you failed. Feel bad about yourself. So it's payday for Aika and Fina. Working as a waitress was actually more fun than they thought. We didn't get to see all the lewd things they had to do to make that job happen, but Fina comments she's never worked for gold before. It's exciting. Aika is sitting there going, you poor, poor chump. No one should ever have to work for gold. You should just be able to get it on your own. So now we're playing as Aika, and we basically have one thing that we have to do, and that's going to go over here. Hopefully, we'll, something will happen here that will be good for us, Let's go in here, and hey, let's go talk to Gilder, because we're playing as women. This must be his lucky day. He comes ashore. The first people he meet are those fair maidens. He introduces himself. He's called Gilder. Perhaps he'll do him the favor of remembering his name. Wonderful. Fair maidens. And women. So let's talk to the barkeep and get our pay. And, this is our pay. We've earned it. Yes, we have. And we worked very hard, so he decided to help us out with a little extra bonus. Thanks for everything. So he received our, quote-unquote, wages. I don't want to know what our, quote-unquote, wages are. Because, one, we're working as waitresses, and two, this guy just looks seedy. But he did give us 4 Saccharase crystals, and more importantly, a Cham. We've got an aberrant Cham and a regular Cham in 2 sequential episodes without having to do anything more than talk to random people. And now that we finally have the 10,000 gold we need to buy a ship, see, Vyse could buy 3 of them. He could buy a ship 3 times the size of the one they're going to buy with 3,000 gold, because that's how it works, right? Well, Gilder comments that the barkeeper has some pretty girls working here, and the barkeep just like, no, man. You scoundrel, keep your hands off the help. No, they don't work for you anymore. They just quit. See? They just stopped working here. You don't need to get so protective. Some things never change, and Gilder, you were never one to resist a pretty face. He always has to lean on that counter every time he talks. Be careful out there. You better take care of yourselves. Thanks for everything. And now they need to go pay off the bill at the inn. And let's see, how much gold do we have? Absolutely nothing. I'm not allowed to spend any of my wages at all. In fact, I don't know where we're getting the money from to actually pay for the inn. So let's head on over here. And oh no, there's a man over here. And this one I'm not allowed to skip. I'm not sure if he just threw himself out a window or what, but he looks kind of damaged. Apparently he hurt himself leaving the inn. This man is starving, he's thirsty, he needs water, he needs food. Okay, you're right outside of a bar and an inn. You know, you could have like stepped 3 more times to get into the place with food. I don't know. Thank you for your kindness. This is Pedro. He's not sure how he can repay us. And, you know, Aika's like, well, we only had exactly this much money, and we still have to do more stuff with this much money, and you took this much money, so you better repay me, dude. Helping people in distress, apparently, is what the Blue Rogues live for. You know, apart from stealing and killing and all that stuff. Apparently, we're air pirates, which we shout to the rafters. There are people who kill air pirates on sight, and we just tell everybody what we are. He says he doesn't have much to repay us, but we should please accept this thing. Apparently, it looks like an old map. Pedro says he used to be a sailor, used to travel with his friend Gonzalez. Hey, that name sounds roughly familiar. One day, they were lucky enough to find this Daccat's map. Daccats. I do not know how you're supposed to pronounce that, so I'm just going to pronounce it Ducats. Because that sounds like money, and we hope to get some. About 5 generations ago, long before this man's time, there was a great air pirate named Daccat that terrorized the world. And this map supposedly shows where Captain Daccat hid all of his treasures, Decats Island. But half of the map is missing, which is kind of a problem, because he and Gonzalez promised each other to look for it together someday. They tore the map in half, and each of them carried a piece with them. Right after they found the map, they were attacked by black pirates, and they had to abandon ship. He doesn't know what happened to Gonzalez, but he ended up here in Nasrad. Apparently with no food or water for the past 20 years, just like Gonzalez. He's been waiting for this man in this town for a very long time, doesn't think he'll ever see him again. That sounds like a waste of your life, really. But that's very sad, says Fina, and I have to agree. I do. This man says he's far too old to be going off looking for buried treasure. He's sure that Gonzalez would have been happy if they found the treasure for him, and I'm sure this man's going like, no, I wouldn't be. If Gonzalez just walked in the next day, and Pedro had handed this over, what do you think he would have said? Oh, god damn it, I probably could have survived one more day. I mean, good luck with finding that treasure. But if Gonzalez showed up the next day, and Pedro's like, I don't know, man, I'm sorry, I don't have that half of the map. I gave it to some, 2 girls who gave me food when you were missing. I'm sure Gonzalez would be like, oh, god damn it. So does this think this map is worth anything? Fina's not sure. She doesn't think this guy would be the kind of person that would lie. And Aika's like, yeah, that did seem a little far-fetched, but it might be worth checking out. We should go searching for treasure. So, remember, they're trying to be searching for Vyse, right? Vyse is missing. They needed to go search for him. They were making all this money in an effort to get Vyse, get a ship to go find Vyse. And now they're gonna go searching for treasure. Now, here's an idea. Why don't you two go grab a bite to eat with Gilder, who's a good-looking gentleman who apparently is promising you a good time, and he's got a friend, too. Nope, they're about to go on a trip, maybe some other time. At least Gilder takes rejection well. But man, they could have met right there if any of this had not left in the wrong order. God damn it. Here's Vyse looking at that exact same half of that map. And the door is open. Watch the background. He's got his, face buried in that map. Have a little fun. And you'll watch the background, and hey, look, there goes those two, not looking left or right where the open door is. Yeah, where'd you get that map? He's found it on a deserted island when he was on. This is the map, the hidden treasure of the legendary air pirate Daccat. Even Gilder knows what this map is. And once again, we get to see our side of the map. It said that he traveled the world and has seen all 6 moons with his own eyes, and it is also said that all the treasures that he accumulated on his adventures are hidden somewhere on a small island. And this is the map of that island. Vyse, you certainly know how to pick your maps. So, you know, Aika and Fina are like, hey, we gotta go save Vyse. Ooh, side quest. So how do we know this thing's real? It's got Deccat's seal. Dacat's seal up in the upper right-hand corner. It's not too easy to duplicate that seal, except with, you know, copy paper. It's no fake. This is a real treasure map. Well, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go. Let's go chase down some treasure. We can't just go find Fina or Aika. Let's go chase down treasure. Didn't you say something about meeting women and having some fun? I also said something about treasure. With Ducat's treasure, we'll be able to get more women, and that is absolutely true. So it's time to go. Yeah, that's how that goes. It is just such a wow. It's a thing. Okay. And Vyse almost forgot, before we head off looking for Decats Island, he should warn the king about Valua's plans. Remember, we learned that Valua intends to attack this place. So Vyse decides that as a well-to-do pirate that he is, he must go inform the king that the Valuans are planning to attack. He is such a nice guy. He really is. So we're gonna go up and talk to these guards. Hi, I need to go talk to the Sultana. The Sultan, that's what it is. I need to talk to the Sultan real quick. If you don't have any official business here, then you are not welcome here. So how do we get past this? The Sultan? I have no idea who that is. And Gilder's like, how do you not know this? The rulers of Nasr always take on that title, the Sultan. This is the royal palace. It's obvious. So we tell this Sultan guy about Valuan's plan to attack? You know, the soldiers should be able to hear you say that, but we must speak to the Sultan right away. Let us through. What? You wish to speak to the Sultan? Do you think we allow commoners into the royal palace? So, you know, we have a choice. How would a swashbuckler proceed? To threaten them, or to just, I have important information? That's what I'm going to choose. We have important information regarding the Valuan Armada, and that's the key word here. Valuan. You know, Valua is their greatest enemy. If we have some information about them, then perhaps we can let them speak to the Sultan. So, there's some swashbuckler points for us. He's going to grant us permission, but if we dare to attack anybody. And Gilder's like, whoa, who'd have thought? 2 ruffians like us meeting the Sultan. Believe me, Gilder, this is not going to be amazing. This is not going to be the greatest thing you've ever done, because this guy is just... look at this guy. I mean, just look at this guy. That cheesy grin, the gigantic well, it's not even a mustache, those are nose hairs. And you could use them as a freaking bow for a violin. But he knows exactly who we are. He knows that we're the great air pirate who escaped from the Grand Fortress. This is the Sultan of the Nasr Kingdom. What do we want of him? I would like that, you know, I would like you to trim those things. Apparently, Valua is planning an attack on Nasrad. They're organizing their forces, and you should warn your people and assemble your fleet right away. Then the Sultan doesn't believe us, immediately starts cracking up. We came all this way to tell him this. Do not fear, his navy is powerful enough to crush the Valuan Armada, so he would like to think. And we comment that you shouldn't underestimate them. We need to assemble our fleet, or many lives will be lost. And the Sultan's just cracking up. Hey, you seem very concerned about Nasr for an air pirate. Yeah, why would you be concerned? Nasr is shielded by mountains in the south and skyrifts to the east. It is impossible for them to invade. If they were to try and invade us, it would have to be from the north, and that is where their fleet is located. Yep, that sounds about right. There's no possible, error in there. The South Danelle Strait is properly guarded, and the Maelstrom blocks off the North Danelle Strait. In other words, it would be impossible for anyone to invade. Ha, ha, ha. Wonderful. And Vyse wants to argue, but the Sultan's like, nope, we're protected by the Red Moon. Valua cannot touch us. And if someone as young as you can get past the Armada, perhaps they're losing their edge. Imagine that. The once mighty Valuan Armada, fooled by a boy. Yeah, I got in within 10 feet of you already. All I had to say is I had important information. And Gilder right here has a pistol. He could just shoot you. And you say they're losing their edge. Gilder comments that he's not going to listen. They should stop wasting their time and go looking for the island. Vyse thinks the guy's way too overconfident. He's absolutely right. But that's going to be about it we can do. If the guy's not going to listen, he's not going to listen. There's not really much we can do about it. So instead, we should switch over to Fina and Aika, apparently. This is their new ship. I'm not sure I like the tent on the back of the canoe, but, you know, it's okay. That's what you get for 10,000 gold. It's a little small, but they now have a ship. But the gold, all that gold is gone. But luckily, monsters everywhere have tons of gold. All they have to do is find Daccat's treasure, and they'll be fine, or just fight like 15 monsters, and they'll have enough to buy a bigger ship. So does the map say where the island is located? The dead will always watch over my treasure. It is located, and it's cut off conveniently right there. Well, where is it? Oh no, it's torn off. I can't see what it says. How convenient. The only way they'll be able to find out the island is by this clue. It's this skull on the map. A skull, you say? A skull? Could that be like the thing that Nye conveniently found last episode? With no prompting whatsoever? But yeah. The stone skull, or whatever it's called. I'm gonna go save real quick, just while I'm thinking about it. The stone skull that I found last episode is actually meant to be a guiding, pointing thingama thing that's meant to tell you exactly where to go in order to get to the next area. It's kind of like the golden man and the bird from Ixtaka. On the treasure map, it says, the dead will always watch over my treasure. There's a skull here on the eastern part of the continent. I wonder if that has anything to do with anything. It might, but before we do that, let's go and lower ourselves down here real quick. And we're looking for something very specific. It should be coming around momentarily. There it is. Yeah, a little rock right that's floating by. That's another discovery. Just kind of floats around. It tilts a little bit. And let's go engage it. So this is the Map of Ages. What once used to be a grand map of the skies, carved into a beautiful stone tablet, is now a weather-worn, crumbling slab of rock. It is said that the map is but a portion of the original, but nobody knows what keeps it afloat. Perhaps the same flying island thing-freak, the same plebtonium that makes the rest of the world float above the air. So we're just going to go ahead and fly north. But yeah, the rock, the skull, is actually meant to show you exactly where to go to find Decats Island. But you don't really have to worry about it too much, because it's not exactly hard to find the island in the first place. Okay, so just like the Ixtakan discovery, it's going to point our way to our location that we need to go to. Or if you know where you're going, you can just go straight there, which is exactly what I'm going to do. The place we need to go is this bigger island over here, the one that conveniently has the very large door in it. Yeah, that one. So let's go there. And all you have to do is press A on it, you'll immediately go in. It's just as easy as that. While you're here, make sure to explore around in this direction, because would you know it, it's yet another Cham. And while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and use some of these. It's been a while since I used a Cham. I have several of them. We're going to upgrade the Cupel to Cupel Star, and an Abric Cham's going to upgrade it to the Cupel Spike automatically. That's how the Abric Chams work. Okay, so all we need to do is walk up here and investigate this scorpion-looking thing, where apparently the door will not open, it won't budge, and there's something written on here. It's an old language, but Fina apparently can read old languages. When the two become one, the path will reveal itself to them. Aika's curious what it means, and why is Daccat being stingy? It's not like any of his gold means anything to him anymore. It's right, you can't take it with you. And, yeah. It's a very good question. Why is Daccat being so stingy? I'm gonna keep on switching back and forth between pronunciations all day long, because I have nothing better to do. And hey, look! Back in Nasrad. The two of them are, ready to go find some treasure. There's some directions on the map. To the north of the City of the Sands, when the two pieces become whole, the way to the treasure will be known. I wonder what that means. You can't read anything before that, it's torn off, and that's all it said. But the City of the Sands probably refers to the city that was here before Nasrad. It was probably called Oasis. So it's to the north of here. They can get there in no time. To the north. That's not very specific. That's just in this direction. I'm sailing without a ship. There's no extra for my friends now. If we do find the treasure, I'd like to use my share to buy a ship. And he goes like, I like that. You never give up. Well, off we go. Like, he's not going to help Vyse with this. No. He's just going to go, you know, I like you. I like the ideas you have. But yeah, due north is not exactly a very specific thing. There's a lot of stuff due north, and in fact, we're going to prove that right now. So let's go sink down. I'm going to just fly straight due north from here. I'm not going to turn... Oh, I'm going to try to, at least. Apparently, I'm not allowed to do that. Okay. There we go. We're going to fly straight due north from here. We're going to see if we can find this island. Let's just check the map real quick, because it should be on here. So straight due north from here is Valua. It's more like, north by northwest, really, that we have to go in order to get to this place. So I'm going to tilt my compass just a little bit. So yeah, due north. So I'm gonna go more in a north by northwest direction, because that's actually the way you get to Decats Island, and we're gonna ignore that little bit of misdirection that the guy put in there, unless these continents shift a little bit, which is, you know, not exactly unlikely. Hey look, there we are, north by northwest. Okay, so let's head right on up here, and we're going to... Ooh, hello. Wait. Real quick. Gotta grab that. Come here, you. Come here, darling. Come here. Yes! It's the balloon seed. It's another discovery. This thing is typically hard to find. There's a time when balloon flowers could be seen throughout the lands, but now they only exist in the history books. But where there are seeds, there must be flowers. Perhaps the history books are not quite so accurate. This thing's typically hard to find because it's very, very small, and the draw distance is kind of a pain in the on the GameCube. So you'll notice that it's not very far away already, but already it's kind of difficult to see. So I did not look forward to actually trying to hunt that thing down. Now let's go back into Decats Island, which is now labeled because we have, we found it already, even if it wasn't a different character. And there's nothing here for us, so there's no, we found the Cham, so don't need to do that. And instead we'll go and engage this iguana. And now they notice the door is huge. They don't know how the two of them can open it. There's probably some sort of trick to opening it. But all of a sudden, as soon as they step on it, stand around for a few seconds, and the door opens. What was that? It was the door opening. And the door opens there, too. How convenient. Notice that they arrived at basically the exact same time. Like, the girls would not be standing on that slab for very long. But Fina says whatever it was, it just opened the door. She doesn't know if that's good or bad, and you know what? Neither do I. Vyse says he didn't touch anything, and did Gilder? No, of course not. The map said something like, when the two pieces come together, he wondered if anyone else is here. Never mind. What are the chances of that? Obviously pretty good. Well, Fina wants to know what Aika thinks she should do. Aika says she's not sure, but the door opened and there's treasure inside. They should go. That's absolutely right. We should go. We should go into this, place and start up the next dungeon. And this dungeon's actually pretty cool. Decats Island is very interesting because, one, there's a good amount of treasure in here, so that's going to be an upgrade for Aika. She hasn't actually gotten some new equipment since Grendel, actually, so that'll give her some good stuff. It doesn't have as good of a hit rate, but the attack is pretty high, and her hit rate's already pretty high, kind of a native part of her character. Wonderful, we got some level ups. Now, the cool mechanic here is that we do have to play both groups. So every time you go over to one of these little beacons and you hit A, you'll switch over to the other group, which is kind of cool. Before I go on, let's go ahead and give Vyse the next super move. We're now Vyse the Bold, if you hadn't noticed. We're going to spend 2 moonberries to get the ability to summon the spirit of an ancient air pirate to defend and counterattack for our crew. It's basically Counter-Strike, but for the entire crew. But remember, it only works on basic attacks. So we're going to move over to this line, and we're going to open up this chest, and immediately fight ourselves a fight. Who do we fight, you ask? Oh, nothing more than just Zivelin Bane, which is annoying. He's not exactly a hard fight, and actually he's been downgraded from his normal pain-in-the-ass size, specifically so that we can deal with him. So as you notice, it's a gigantic, loss to his health. From one shot off a Gilder. So Vyse doing something like Cutlass Fury is going to take this guy out. I do have... Where's my Sacrum Crystals? Sacrum Crystals. Is that going to give 1,000 HP to all of my allies? Very, very useful. It's one of my favorite items. Sacrum is one of my favorite spells, too, because it makes healing everybody even easier. And then Vyse is just going to go ahead and do a Cutlass Fury and deal just crap tons of damage to this guy. He's one of the easiest Sylvan Bane fights, if not the easiest. So there's the counterattack, and we're just going to go ahead and kill this guy and get his rewards. Wow, he dodged. Okay, that's cool. Don't worry, Gilder will kill him. Kill him, Gilder. Thank you. Gilder likes to snipe people with his pistol. And I mean, I love pistols. I use them every time when I'm playing a game. Awesome. Notice Vyse's sword. I think it's really cool looking. And Gilder levels up to level 25. Fantastic. Welcome to the party. And we get a Dexus Seed. And then, of course, for opening the treasure chest, which is going to happen right about now, we're going to see the Soul Crystal, which is the next level reward for defeating those guys. What is our health looking like? Our health's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and move over here. So we need to flip this switch here. A lever. I wonder what it's for. When we flip it, it actually opens up the girls' side of the cavern. So you can kind of see how the mechanic works here. We're going to have to flip back and forth fairly consistently to do whatever it is we need to do. Well, now that I've shown that off, I think it's about time for me to head out, guys. I'll see you next time where we're going to finish up Decats Island and hopefully get our intrepid crew back together. I'll see you next time.